After finding out about INOKIM's two brand new locations in Manhattan, one thing that I really wanted to do was make time and check out the INOKIM OX. With a 1000 watt brushless motor, this is one of INOKIM's top-end models. Although this is one of the heavier e-scooters in the industry, this particular one is very full-featured and not to mention very beautiful. Let's start out with the obvious. The INOKIM OX has a 1000 watt brushless motor coupled with a 60 volt 21 amp hour lithium battery. Although it's possible that it might take in upwards of 11 hours to charge the battery from 0 to 100, there's potential for you to see a top range of 68 miles or 110 kilometers. Aside from the beautiful design of the single-sided front and rear swing arms connecting the tires, one of my favorite features about this are the very bright headlights and tail lights, making you very visible in traffic when you're riding. Like many other of INOKIM's products, this is paired with a great-looking LCD display that's easy to see in the sunlight. One of the first things that you notice when you're taking off on this e-scooter is how immediately comfortable it is to ride. Part of that is due to the 10-inch tires. The other part of that is due to the really great suspension design. One thing that really caught me off guard when I started riding this was how comfortable it was. I mean, I know that this has dual suspension and the design is really great on the suspension, but it was a lot like riding on a cloud. When I took this e-scooter over some very uneven terrain in New York, it handled it with zero issues. In fact, it was still really comfortable to ride even over the top of what you're seeing here. There's no question as to whether the OX is a comfortable ride. The wide footboard on this also made for a really nice ride. For someone who has fairly large feet, I felt that there were a lot of places on this board that I could comfortably stand, and it didn't affect the stability of the ride. Although I had some height issues with the handlebars on the INOKIM Lite, the OX was very different and it was perfect for a tall rider. Like I mentioned previously, the LCD display on the INOKIM e-scooters is fantastic. It's very easy to see in the daytime and gives a great and accurate reading of what's happening while you're riding. On the top left of the LCD display is your current miles per hour. On the right side is the gear or the mode that you might be riding in, which will give you a little bit different acceleration and top-end speed. Right underneath those is the odometer, and underneath that is the battery life indicator. On the top right-hand and bottom right-hand side are a plus and a minus button. Those are for changing the gears of the modes, again, so that you can change your potential top speed or your acceleration. In the middle is the on and off power button. At this point, I guess I should address the elephant in the room. The OX is a very heavy e-scooter. It comes in at 28 kilograms or 62 pounds. Surprisingly, it doesn't feel that heavy when you're riding it, and the center of gravity is really great. What I'm trying to say here is that if you're in a situation where you're going to need to carry your e-scooter up some stairs or maybe on a subway train, this might not be the most ideal e-scooter for you. But the best thing about this is that with a potential 68 miles range, you can really go just about anywhere that you need to go and at a decent speed. The one that I tested was limited to 15 miles an hour or 25 kilometers per hour. I have read of some that have been reaching speeds higher than this, so I feel that this has to be a little bit of a software limitation inside the scooter. I see a lot of people on forums all the time asking about scooters for larger riders. This e-scooter can handle a max payload of 120 kilograms or 264 pounds. So if you're a little bit on the larger side as a rider, this might be a good choice for you. Although the design of this e-scooter is beautiful, it's structurally designed very well also. You can tell even with a quick glance that the quality of the materials and the craftsmanship on this e-scooter is fantastic. It's certainly one that I would recommend for someone who's looking for a very well-made machine. Although you might pay a little bit more for this e-scooter, you're certainly paying for a very quality machine that will take you just about anywhere that you want to go. It's got a great range, good overall speed, a fantastic build quality, and let's not forget how comfortable this was to ride on. It seemed to handle New York City's awful streets and potholes with relative ease. It was just so comfortable to ride on. I feel like that comfort is a testament of the good design that INOKIM put into this particular model. I'm still very surprised that the suspension system that they've chosen for this particular model held me up so well, gave me so much comfort, and offered a lot of support to the rider. Please also be aware that there's an OX Eco model that features a 700 watt brushless motor instead of the 1000 watts that came with this. Also, coming up at some point soon, there's going to be an OXO model, which features two 1000 watt brushless motors. If I were going to give a recommendation for this, I would say that this would be perfect for someone who has a bit of a longer commute, and I would say that it would be ideal for someone who's looking for ultimate comfort on their ride, especially because this handles so many different types of terrain so well. Want more content just like this? Like and subscribe to our channel.